Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of Pipeline Talk. Here today, we're going to be discussing the Vols preview for their regional here in Knoxville, the 14 seed, kind of diving into our favorite teams, some of the prospects to watch in our system, as well as a little update on Christian Moore. And we'll start right with that. Phil, what do you got for us?
Yeah, well, Christian Moore was called up to AAA recently, just like we kind of predicted in the last episode. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen eventually. The dude's just a beast. And I mean, he hit the ground running. I I think it was his first game, definitely his first series up in AAA, got his first home run. He was trending a little bit with Jack Caglione. They both hit their first AAA home runs while they were, I believe, playing each other in a series. So that was a pretty cool sight to see for SEC fans. But since being called up, Christian Moore's played 8 games, 31 at bats. He's batting 419 with an OPS of 1061. He has shown the Christian Moore that we all know he would be. And he, like I said, he just hit the ground running. He's been doing fantastic. 13 hits, just two extra base hits, but he's got 10 RBIs and 6 walks. So he's got three stolen bases as well. He's getting on base, and he's really just breaking out there. So it's just like I said, it's just been like a week or so of games for him. But hit the ground running is a good sign for him. We hope he can keep it up, and hopefully we'll see him in the majors soon, playing along with Mike Trout.
Yeah. From one kind of Tennessee postseason star to hopefully seeing a couple this year. Kind of running through a little regional preview. We're going to start, I think, Paul, with the team that we play first, Miami, Ohio, out of the MAC conference.
Yep, Vols versus Miami, Ohio, tomorrow at 6 p.m. We're all very excited, and Vols will have Liam Doyle going. It was
Let's
kind of a
go.
question. Vols have mixed it up the last couple of weeks. Marcus Phillips game one, Liam Doyle game two. Worked out pretty well in their series against Arkansas. Got the game victory game one. Feel good with your ace going into game two, and then he kind of got roughed around. He's not getting as many whiffs with his fastball. It might be a fatigue thing. He's never pitched this many innings in a season. Hopefully that's all figured out come tomorrow. He's facing a really good Miami, Ohio lineup. They've got 7 guys with a WRC over 100. They just know how to hit. Their pitching is really where the Vols are going to have to capitalize. Of the three, they have 3 guys that have made over 10 starts this year. And you want to know the lowest ERA of the three? 6.02.
Hey,
It's been a rough go for their starters. They've got 2 names out of the pen or one that's kind of been a spot starter. He's made 9 starts. He's got a 2.66 ERA. That's Cooper Katsky. I don't know if he's the starter for tomorrow. I would assume with an ERA, half of the other starters on the team, it would be, but he's kind of their go-to guy. He's got a 4.98 FIP, so he's kind of struggled in that department. He's getting results you'd like to see, but not a lot of walks, not a lot of strikeouts. So a guy that the Vols can hopefully tee off on. And their best relievers, Carson Byers, pitched 71 and a third innings this year, 2.65 ERA. That's a guy we'll probably be seeing first out of the pen. And I imagine these are guys that, unless the Vols just come out explosion first game, up big time, these are guys we're probably going to see tomorrow. And they're going to try and steal this game from us. And this is a good team. They were the regular season champs in the MAC conference. They were the tournament champions, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to match the Vols' firepower. And Nick, you want to talk Wake Forest for us, the 2 seed in the regional?
yeah, Wake Forest, obviously a little familiarity over the years here with Tennessee, some players moving back and forth, and then kind of just always keeping our eyes on that team, at least from last year with Chase Burns. Obviously pitched amazing and was great for Tennessee in general. But this Wake Forest team, kind of middle of the road in ERA pitching wise, definitely going to hit their homers. They have a very similar sized park to Tennessee. Also just kind of that environment and the players that they recruit are powerful kind of impact bats. A lot of slug. They have a couple of solid hitters, but will be without Ethan Conrad. He was out for the season, got injured, I believe, at the end of March, but was tearing it up. A transfer from Marist. had 7 homers early, and we were kind of talking about it a little early, not diving too much into the draft stuff, but a guy in Ethan Conrad that uh, was surging up boards here early. We'll kind of see where he ends up going, but not a stereotypical center fielder. That's where Wake was playing, and more of a corners guy. But they will be without him, but still have Merrick Houston, who elite defender, shortstop, walks more than he strikes out. They got kind of a similar vibe, maybe not as bad with the pitching as Miami, Ohio, but definitely some guys that can hit the ball and should make for a very interesting series or for a very interesting game slash regional.
Yeah, and the key for the Vols is they're gonna have to take their walks against Wake Forest. If they do end up playing them Saturday, they'll play the winner of the Wake Forest Cincinnati game if they beat Miami, Ohio. And it's going to be about taking their walks. Blake Morningstar, their ace, 2.71 ERA, over 3 walks per 9, though, which isn't awful, but, he's definitely going to walk some guys. Got to be patient at the plate. Their best reliever, Griffin Green, 2.65 ERA, over 5 walks per 9. So he's got the stuff. Very good strikeout stuff, over 9 strikeouts per 9. But he's going to walk a lot of guys, and the Vols need to be patient. Can't come out of their approach. They're going to be excited. A lot of these guys have never played in this environment. Like Fisher played at Old Miss, that's a good environment, or Doyle also at Ole Miss. But like this is a fan base that's coming off a national title. They're going to be excited. The place is going to be rowdy. And as the 1 seed, you're going to get tempted to be complacent, be like, we're playing Miami of Ohio and the shitty Wake Forest team. They need to stay in their approach, and I think they will. They're battle tested. Tony's battle tested, but we'll see. Phil, can you talk a little bit of the 3 seed Cincinnati for us?
Yeah, and just like really quick to go off what you were saying, I think that the top of our lineup really does a good job setting the tone too. Gavin Keelan, like you said, Fisher. Those are two guys who know how to control the zone, control their at bats. So I think once they get up there in the first inning, if they see whoever's pitching, whether it be Morningstar or someone else, if they see they're not really throwing a lot of strikes, I feel like they'll be able to control the zone and let basically by way of example show their teammates that they need to be patient if they want to get runners on base, wait for their pitch to really drive it out of the park. But yeah, Cincinnati, 5.44 team ERA. Not terrible, not crazy, but they're 18th in the nation in stolen bases. And from watching Tennessee play teams like Vandy and Kentucky, who kind of rely on base running and a little bit of that small ball kind of play, it might be interesting to see how they fare against Cincinnati. Just like the defense, like we've mentioned in the past, kind of struggles with these kinds of plays and especially the infield defense stuff like that. So I think that could make for an interesting game, to be honest. But I think that if we can pounce on their pitchers and just put up big numbers, we should be sitting pretty good. So I think that we should be okay across the board as long as we can try to control that run game and lock up on especially on the infield defense when we play Cincinnati.
And
Yeah,
not
and as you
looking,
were saying, just going back to the Wake Forest point, I think it's going to come on the young guys to stay in their approach. Like you were saying, having guys like Keelan and Fisher at the top, taking pitches, taking their walks is important because you got a lot of guys like we don't know what the lineup's going to look like, but I assume Levi Clark will be out there. We might see Abernathy, who's to say, Marin. Antigua is a sophomore now, but he's still kind of raw in his plate approach. A lot of guys like that, where it's really going to come down to them. If they start chasing, Wake Forest pitchers got really good stuff, really good, a lot of good fastballs and sliders. If they start coming out of their approach, it's going to be hard for the Vols lineup to score. If only like the top third is really able to get anything going.
not looking too far ahead then too. Remember Tennessee's regional, the Knoxville regional, matched up with Arkansas in the Fayetteville regional, so could make for an interesting rematch. Obviously, we played them earlier this season, but just could make for an interesting rematch in the Super Regional. Do you guys have anything else on the Vols regional preview, or should we hop into our favorite prospects?
Excited to watch some Falls postseason baseball. Lucky enough to get it at home, but
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
I'll be
It's
on
back.
TV, but I'll be enjoying it. Yep. And hopefully, we're hoping for an upset on the other side of the bracket with
Yeah.
Arkansas. Kansas isn't a bad team. I don't exactly remember the 3 and 4 seeds, but I don't. They might. Arkansas is a good squad. I don't know if they're gonna be able to hang. So we're hoping for a Kansas upset, bring that super regional to Knoxville. But we'll see.
Awesome. Well, let's hop in then to a few prospects from our favorite teams. These could be guys that are close to MLB ready, guys that may be just kind of starting in pro ball or somewhere in the middle. But we're going to start here, Paul, the Nats. I know you got some big names that you really like, some guys that you're really excited about.
Yeah, and I'll just run through them real quick. First guy that I'm very excited about is so is a lot of the fan base is Luke Dickerson. 44th pick last year in the draft, second rounder, got the largest bonus ever for a second round prospect. And most of that money came from the savings they got from the Seaver King pick at number 10, I believe, last year. And then a lot of the fan base, including me, were not happy about that pick. There are guys like Braden Montgomery, Bryce Rayner went right after. Guys I was so excited for. I was at the draft, and I have the funniest video ever of me just doing when they picked them. Uh, but it's starting to pay off because it means we got this kid, Luke Dickerson, and he's been on a tear this year. 20 games across the complex and low A, 134 WRC plus, has been hammering the ball, 465 slugging, 373 on base. A lot of the batted ball numbers look great. He's not chasing too much, not whiffing too much. 19 years old, just turned 19, or no, will be turning 20 later in the year. So he's kind of a middle-aged 19-year-old, just a little old for his league right now. We'd like to see him get to high A sooner or later, but he's looking really good. We're really excited about him. Keith Law of The Athletic had him as his 48th prospect in baseball. He thinks that he's probably not going to stick it short, probably more of a second base build. He's probably right about 5'11", 197. Pretty good athlete, not super speedy, not super fluid at short, but he'd probably play a pretty good second, which, I think Luis Garcia Jr. shouldn't start sweating yet. The kid's only in low A, but, just a couple sweat drops coming down his head, especially since he's had kind of a rough start to the season. But really excited to see how he keeps doing. He's probably a top three Nets prospect already. I mean, it's early, such a small sample size, but there's a lot of projection that can be done, and I'm feeling good about him. Another guy I'm feeling good about who's much closer to the big leagues, Yohani Morales, was the 40th pick out of Florida 2 years ago, or not Florida, out of Miami in Florida 2 years ago. Same draft as the Dylan Cruz draft, and he's looked really good so far. In Double A this year, 33 games, 156 WRC plus, still strikes out quite a bit, doesn't walk a lot, 23% K rate, 7.7 walk rate, but he hammers the ball, and that's what matters. And he just got called up to AAA. Only been there 4 games, 81 WRC. It's early. Rochester's kind of a tough place to hit. Kind of cold up there. It's getting warmer. Ball's starting to fly a little more, but that's a guy I'm excited to see, especially because Nate Lau for the Nats has been cold. He's been bad recently, and there's been some rumors, just some mostly it's probably the Red Sox teams calling. I've been trying to acquire him, and you feel better about that happening if there's a guy like Morales that can come up and play first base for the team. But the thing for Morales for me is just going to be pulling a lot more fly balls. He still is really oppo happy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But really, he's going to tap into his power the best the more he pulls the ball. So that's a guy I'm excited about. And the last one I'm going to run by you guys is Travis Sikora, also from the same draft as Cruz and Morales, 71st overall pick. Was really like a first round talent. He was a late first, early second kind of guy. Nats used a little bit of savings, got him down to their third round pick, and he has been phenomenal so far. Only 15 innings so far in 2025. Started the season with an injury. Started pitching about 3 weeks ago, and he has been on fire. Zero point 0.6 ERA, 0.52 FIP. I mean, a 19.2 K per nine. And again, this is very small. It's 5 starts, a lot of short outings, just ramping him back up. He's facing, low A competition, high A competition, but the stuff looks awesome. And the stuff looked awesome last year. Last year, 20 years old at low A, 1.87 FIP, had a 13.66 K per nine. I mean, he's a top probably 8 starting pitching prospect in the game. You can get me to say higher. The one problem is he's been a little old at every level he's been at. You'd like to see him, like, he's 21 years old now. Probably like to see him get to double A soon. Kind of get the guys his age. He's always been a little older than his competition, but he's also been phenomenal. So it's hard to make, it doesn't make me too worried. So that's a guy, want to see him get a little deeper into outings, but he's coming off an injury. I'm really excited about him. But Nick, what do you got for us? A couple Cubs.
Yeah. Good segue here. You said that your last guy was always old for every level he's been at. How about Moises Ballesteros, just turned or just 21 years old, just got a cup of coffee in the MLB, has been a baby throughout the minor league system, but has hit at every single spot. Just a guy that his hit tool is going to outweigh kind of everything else. His build is quite unique. He's probably 5'7" or 5'8", varying in the 200 to 215-pound range. They don't really know what position long term. They're going to try as hard as they can to keep him at catcher. That's probably his primary position. But so far, he has only thrown out 13% of base stealers. So you'd love to see that number get up a lot more. But the offense has been insane this year in Iowa, AAA for the Cubs. He's hitting 344 with a 904 OPS. Also has just 18 strikeouts to 17 walks. Is going to be a guy that doesn't strike out a lot. Is not going to walk particularly much, but that bat to ball skills and just hitting the ball hard is what got him a chance with the Cubs this year after Ian Happ went down with injury. A guy who MLB has is about the 60th best prospect and one of the Cubs' top, probably number 3 or 4, depending on graduation. But a guy that I'm really excited about. Already made his debut. Hopefully, we'll see him again this year. But if not, let him keep working on catching defense and hopefully catching defense for catchers obviously is a later skill to come for most, but he's only 21. He won't be 22 until November, so you've got this whole season of him to get better and have no pressure at all. So very excited about him. Another guy who is currently with Knoxville, the Double A affiliate, the Smokies, is Jackson Wiggins, a guy who big arm out of Arkansas was used primarily, I want to say, as one of their late inning guys before he got injured. Signed well over slot during his Tommy John injury in the second round, but a guy who can touch upper 90s, sits probably mid 90s now. The Smokies have been using him a lot more, primarily actually as a starting pitcher, which I think gives him his highest ceiling. So far this year, between high A and double A, he's got a 206, has played in 9 games, started 8 of them, and has 49 strikeouts in 39 innings. So you can see the power stuff. His whip is just a tick over 1. He's been better in high A, but still not bad in Knoxville. You'd like to see the walks just kind of get down even a little more. That's kind of been his kryptonite both in pro ball and in college, was just a little bit too high of walk numbers, but the stuff is nasty. Doesn't give up a lot of base hits. Batting average against is a solid 170. A guy who right now is the Cubs' number 10 prospect, but could be knocking on the door of top 100. He's got a huge build. He's 6'6", 225, so there might even be more projection in there in that arm. But was a 2 year guy or 2 years at Arkansas and then missed his draft year with the Tommy John surgery. But a guy that I know the Cubs are really excited about. He's only 22. They're going to keep giving him opportunities, and he will probably be in that Smokies rotation, I would say, the entire year. But very good, very excited about him. And the third one is another younger guy, shortstop, second baseman. I would say he probably could stick at short because he's got a strong enough arm, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's 5'11", Jefferson Rojas. Right now at high A, this is his second year in a row there. He's hitting 301, has 4 homers, 4 triples, and 7 doubles. The strikeouts have been a little higher than maybe you would want, but still nothing too out of the ordinary for a 21-year-old. I could see him getting promoted to Knoxville very, very soon. The Smokies are just kind of missing a superstar bat. All of the prospects that we had last year are now in Iowa. So he would definitely bring some excitement to the game, to the fan base that's coming out to watch the Smokies play. Has been in double digits in stolen bases every year that he's been in pro ball. So that's something, another interesting development you like your middle infielders just to play good defense and hit for a high average. Home runs are a bonus, but so are stolen bases, which is kind of coming back in today's game. You see guys, Cubs especially, PCA with uh, more than 10 homers, more than 10 stolen bases. Kyle Tucker, who's not a speedster by any means, but just a good base runner. And the ability to steal a base, I think now is just kind of a lost art, something that having working on it as a 21-year-old through the system can only make you that much better when you get to the major leagues. But Jefferson Rojas, I would say still probably a few years away. Was signed in the 2022 international class, was actually our third highest bonus, so was not supposed to be the cream of the crop of that class, but has just kind of hit wherever he's gone as well. Started in pro ball at 18, so he's kind of just been around for a while and is steadily moving up. But I think that long term, probably a second baseman. The Cubs just have so many hitters right now that we'll see who sticks, who gets traded. But if he doesn't get moved at the deadline, I think that it shows that the Cubs really value him and someone that, again, fans should be excited about. Cubs system's in a good spot. When you have good major league talent and a good farm system, it makes for an exciting fan base because you know what you got and you want to get better. But yeah, that's the report from the Cubs. Phil, let's hear about some of the Mets.
Yeah, and I got the chance to go to the Smokies game yesterday. Watch Jackson Wiggins. He threw five shutout with allowing just two hits against number one team in the Southern League,
He's
the
nasty.
Birmingham Barons. So he came up. He's been really good so far. And Will Sanders also just got the call up to AAA. So you
Yeah.
guys got some pitchers on the move. But as for the Mets prospects, first and foremost, Ronnie Mauricio coming back from his ACL surgery. He came back just a couple weeks ago, and he hit the ground running. Like he might be like a saving grace, to be honest, for this team. Seeing him tear it up in in AAA this year has been huge for us. The team, especially the back half of the lineup for the Mets, has been super hot and cold, mostly cold. But if we can find a spot for him in the Mets lineup right now, somewhere in the infield, I know they've been playing McNeil in center field. They've kind of been Acuna's been pretty cold. So if we can find a spot for him, maybe platooning him between second and third with Brett Beatty, who's also been killing the ball since coming back up. If we can find a spot for Mauricio up there where he can rake, that would be a huge boost of energy and just production for the team. So seeing him hit the ground running after coming back from ACL surgery is very exciting as a Mets fan. Um, Jonah Tong for the uh, for the Mets has also been really good this year. 2.37 ERA in 8 starts so far in Double A. He got the call up from Single A at the beginning of this year, so a new level for him, and he's still pitching really well. Great to see some pitchers coming moving their way up through the farm system of the Mets, considering we haven't had a real. I mean, Kodai Senga has been great. Our pitching staff's been great this year, but it's kind of a bunch of guys who came over, signed some deals, got some trades, came over, and they've just been pitching out of their minds, like career years for some of these guys. So as much as I love it, I love also to see some consistency in not only the results, but also like the people on our staff. So I think that some of these guys coming up through the minors can really provide some of those, even if they're not a future Mets ace or anything like that, but having a solid 2, 3, 4 who can play every day or get the ball every fifth day for 4, 5, 6 years for the Mets would be just very comforting for me as a Mets fan. Brandon Sproat was also someone who had been moving up the ranks quite quickly since being drafted in 2023. but he's in AAA this year. And it just hasn't really looked like how he did the last couple of years. He was so elite the last couple of years, but this year in AAA, 1-4 with a 6.31 ERA. Um, just kind of, I think he just like kind of lost touch of the control a little bit. He's still striking out a bunch walks. He's let up 17 walks to 31 strikeouts. I think it's just a little bit of like too many guys on base and then not really being able to like close out innings or close out hitters. So I think we'll hopefully see, especially in the back half of this year, hopefully see some improvement from him to be able to really showcase that he will be a major league pitcher, hopefully in the next year or two. But yeah, those are, like I said, some having some pitchers to come up from our system to really solidify the rotation for of multiple years would be very comforting. But if that's all we have for our own prospects, we want to move into some of the hot prospects that may be tearing it up elsewhere. Paul, you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's do it. Also, just a side note with Jackson Wiggins on the Cubs, I was looking at the stats. It's incredible when you did. He had a 6.55 ERA his sophomore season at Arkansas, blows out his arm, and then makes $1.5 million in the draft. That just stuff is king, you know? If you
It
got a good
huge,
heater.
yeah, huge overslot. I remember at the time, just kind of they were like he might not even sign. He might go back to Arkansas because he didn't really end on a high note. And yeah, just an amazing grab of a prospect. I know his
Yeah.
younger brother, I believe, was either draft eligible last year, or ended up going to college. But
hmm And I mean, it looks good for, it looks like it's paying off for them already. And I mean, if you were a casual fan, you look at him, he had a 5 ERA his freshman year, a 6.5 his sophomore year, and then a broken arm junior year. You're like, what the hell are we doing?
good
Scouts know what they're
scouting,
doing.
good scouting.
Yep, scouts know what they're doing. But yeah, let's do some general draft stuff. We'll do about two each, bounce between them. And I'm going to start with, I mean, he's not a very niche prospect. We all know the name, but Chase Burns has been lighting it up at Double A this year. Started at Single A, didn't last there long. Three starts, had a 15.43 K per nine, 3 ERA. Got the call to Double A. Has had about six starts there, 1.86 ERA, 1.72 FIP. It's a 39.6 K to walk per nine, leads the whole minor leagues among qualified pitchers. I mean, he's ridiculous. A 2.8% walk rate at Double A. I mean, that was kind of the issue, wasn't it? At least Tennessee and Wake Forest. It wasn't awful, wasn't terrible, about 7% all 3 years. But, it'd kind of get away from him. He ended up in the bullpen twice at Tennessee just because he couldn't really keep it under control. Wake Forest, he still figured out the strikeout stuff, still was kind of walking guys. I mean, this is a 2.8 and a 5.3 just overall over his, what, nine starts this year. I mean, this is a new guy, and he's striking out as many guys as ever. I mean, he might be the best pitching prospect in the game. Heater over 100. It's probably him or Bubba Chandler. It's one of those two. I mean, he looks ridiculous. And good for the Reds. I mean, when the Reds took him second, I was a little caught off guard. I was kind of expecting Charlie Condon or one of those guys. I mean, we knew Burns was kind of a top five pick, but I was like, oh, all right. How about you, Nick? What do you got for us?
Yeah, a guy that I really like that I've been reading about and looking into a lot is a athletics pitcher, left-handed pitcher, Gage Jump. Uh, just a super interesting kind of profile. Was another guy similar to Jackson Wiggins, but did have a productive year of college. Started at UCLA, only appeared in about 16 innings, was out his entire sophomore year with Tommy John surgery, and then transferred to LSU, where he was very productive. Pitched 83 innings, had 101 strikeouts to 22 walks, 6-2 record, and started, I should say, in 15 of the 17. But so far with the Athletics, they picked him in the second round of the 2021 draft, I believe. He's only 22 years old, not a super big guy, only about 6 foot 200, but is a guy that has a four pitch mix and can get up to 97 miles per hour. So has a very good fastball. And so far this year, in combined of high A and double A, has a 1.8 ERA and has 67 strikeouts in 50 innings of work, with eight of the games he's appeared in coming as starts. This guy is just, I think, has projectability in a system where you can shoot up quickly. The A's like to promote their prospects pretty quickly if they have good ones. We've seen a couple of their pitchers so far the last couple of years, but Gage Jump is a very intriguing prospect just because he's another guy that doesn't have a lot of innings under his belt, both college-wise or professionally. Has, like I said, the 67 strikeouts, but also has limited the walks. In Double A, since being promoted, he is 3-0 with a .95 and has 22 Ks in 19 innings. So showing that he can get comfortable and adjust to a new level right away, I think is very intriguing for this athletics team. He's a guy that, like I said, is only 22, probably still has another year, but if he could be pitching at AAA next year, he would have a serious chance, I think, to be called up in September, if not somewhere in the middle of the season, depending on injuries and other things. The A's roster, it seems, changes every single year, whether they're moving superstars away for prospects or just not wanting to pay players. I know they finally put some money into Severino and Brent Rooker to extend him, some other bats in there. But overall, a very young team that I think could benefit from a prospect like this. He was the 73rd overall pick, was the number one high school pitcher in California when he was committed to UCLA. So definitely had that projectability at a young age where he could be a guy that scouts really loved, and obviously had the Tommy John already, and seems like he's coming out on the positive side after that. But Gage Jump, name to look out for sure. A's 13th prospect. I could see him jumping definitely into the top 10 in the next update, but definitely someone to watch for. Phil, who do you got?
Yeah, kind of sticking with the theme of pitchers here, and someone that Paul mentioned earlier, Bubba Chandler. He has been one of the best pitching prospects in the minors this year. He's in AAA. In his 10 starts, he's got a 2.27 ERA, um, 20 walks and 61 strikeouts. So just like absolutely dominating, a whip right around one, just dominating opposing hitters. And he started in Double A last year. Kind of, he seemed okay. He had an ERA right around four in 16 starts. Still got the call up late in 2024 up to AAA, and um, just once again hit the ground running. Went 4-0 with a 1.83 ERA. Started this year in AAA again, and like I said, just been lights out for the Pirates farm system. So another one of those guys you could expect to see climb the rankings very quickly, and especially for a team like Pittsburgh, he could potentially make a jump up to the next level uh, relatively quickly. He's 22 years old, so not unbelievably young, but he could be a piece that could really create some extreme depth in that Pirates rotation with Paul Skeens and some of those other guys who have just been lights out.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll do another one each. I'll start off with Mike Sirota, I believe that's how you say it, of the Dodgers. Sirota, sorry, of the Dodgers, was a third rounder last year to the Reds. Ends up getting traded to the Dodgers in the offseason for Gavin Lux, along with a draft pick. Dodgers clearly have loved this guy. They took him in high school, 2021, couldn't get him to sign. Went to Northeastern for 3 years. Was really good his first 2 years. Had a 166 WRC his sophomore year. He was a projected first rounder. I remember. I remember doing some mocks last year. Kind of was in that like 10 to 20 range. Didn't have a great year. Was a little worse. 140 WRC. Was walking a lot, striking out 18%, which isn't bad, but keep in mind Northeastern's kind of lower level of competition. Might have wanted it to be a little lower. So ends up dropping in the draft, goes in the third round, makes about 850,000, yeah, 850,000. and they gets traded to the Dodgers and has been nuts this year. Has been ridiculous. 33 games, 207 WRC plus. I mean, he's a little old. He's going to turn 22 in June. He's at high A right now. Started at low A, so he's a little older for his league, but he's been. I mean, that's Aaron Judge numbers down at high A, which is ridiculous. Has a 702 slugging on the year. And the Dodgers are pretty good at this player development stuff, at identifying prospects. So, I mean, they clearly wanted this guy bad. Took him once, couldn't get him to sign. Didn't take him, but then traded for him. Traded Gavin Lux, who's a pretty good player. I mean, I don't know how he's doing with the Reds right now. I don't think he's doing great, but he's not a bad player. So they trade him, and he's been ridiculous. I mean, we'll see how he fits into the future plans. I imagine he's going to come up to double A Oklahoma City pretty soon. I mean, I don't know how long you can just let him have a 243 WRC in high A for. It's only been 9 games, but it's ridiculous. I mean, that's a guy to watch out for. One of the hottest bats in the minors right now. Really good athlete. I'm excited to see where he goes. But Nick, how about you?
Yeah, my guy, Joe Mack, Miami Marlins system right now is the number 9 prospect, a catcher, and a very intriguing one at that. Not necessarily tearing the cover off early, but coming from the end of last year into, or lately, I should say, but coming the end of last year to early this season, has just been promoted to AAA a couple of weeks ago, but is a guy that never really hit in the system, was a high school pick from the Marlins, first rounder in the same draft as Gage Jump, was the second highest prep catcher behind Harry Ford. So definitely a lot of talent there. But through the first 3 years of pro ball, had a combined batting average about 180, wasn't doing much, was always known as a pretty good defender, so that carried him being a catcher and left-handed bat. But last year just absolutely burst onto the scene between high A and double A, hit 24 homers and 30 doubles. A guy that kind of just jumped that slugging percentage out of nowhere. The most homers he had hit in the season before that was 6, and the most doubles he had had was 13. The strikeouts, I would say, are maybe what's holding him back a little bit. He had a 24% strikeout rate last year. It's about the same this year, but since being promoted to AAA, he's added a few more homers. The season total right now is 5, has 9 doubles, has also thrown out 34% of runners. So very good with the arm defensively as well. Just kind of a very intriguing prospect. First round picks, obviously, when you take a guy, you're expecting him to impact the MLB roster at some point. A guy out of high school is kind of a lottery ticket, but at 22, being the double A into now triple A starting catcher, very excited about his ability to continue to slug, but also bring good defense. I know I picked the A's and the Marlins, not the most exciting of prospect and farm systems, but trying to bring a little bit of encouragement to those teams, guys that I think will make the team eventually just out of sheer need for talent. I think both
Mhm.
Gage Jump, as I talked about earlier, and then Joe Mack now can kind of bring talent to those teams, bring something exciting. He's on pace probably right now for about 15, 16 homers. I think he could get hot. He's still waiting for that big week to get hot. They've also been DHing him a little bit, whereas every appearance up until this year, he had been strictly catching. So maybe a little bit of new of, hey, I can't impact the game with my glove if I'm DHing today. So maybe he's pressing a little bit, striking out a little bit more than he has in certain appearances. I'd be interested to see the splits hitting wise when he's catching versus DHing. But Joe Mack, a guy, like I said, top 10 system prospect. I could see him impacting. I know they have their catcher that's up right now that's absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. So maybe not this year, but definitely coming up the pipeline uh, for the Marlins, catcher Joe Mack. Phil, who's your second prospect to watch?
Yeah, a little bit of a hot topic as of recently for the Red Sox. Roman Anthony. I mean, he's been top 10. It feels like a top 10 prospect every year. I mean, the dude's been elite, but Marcel Meyer obviously just got the call up to the majors for the Red Sox. he's been doing decent in his first handful of games so far. Christian Cable also up there this year. He's been slumping a little bit recently, but I mean, I think the issue for the Red Sox and Roman Anthony right now is just the fact that they don't seem to have room for him on the roster. They got to make room, whether that be trades or sending guys down. I don't know what it is, but they've got to make room for this guy because right now he's just sitting in AAA waiting for the call because there's really nothing you can't look at him, look at his stats and be like, no, he needs more time. He's been tearing the cover off the ball every year at every level. He's been in AAA now for 2 years, I believe, and OPS right around 900 last year, close to 1,000 this year. So I mean, he's there's really nothing more to talk about with him, in my opinion. But I mean, he's so much fun to watch. Hoping one of these days he gets the call up and we can watch him really start to play at the major league level, especially for a Red Sox team that is right on the fringe of possibly like making a run at probably a wild card spot. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this guy comes up and lights a fire under the Red Sox and they make a run for the division. I don't know, but either way, I'd love to see this guy run around in Fenway Park.
Cool. Well, those are some prospects of some different systems. I know we focused on kind of our own team and some guys we like, but that was just our way to kind of cover the rest of the minor league. Some exciting, some guys with some helium. I know around the draft time, you always are talking about, oh, this high school guy or this college bat has gotten hot. He's got some helium in the draft. He's moving on up the ranks. But these are just some guys that we like that either could see get into the major leagues pretty soon or just guys that are tearing the cover off the ball or throwing the crap out of it down in the minors. But I know we got a game, Paul, to get to, so let's waste no time.
Yes.
I'm ready to compete. I know Phil's ready to compete. We're going to try our best here. What's the game that we're playing today, Paul?
Yeah, so we are playing Guess the School, gentlemen. It's an idea we've been playing with for a little. This might not be the right episode to do it, but we're doing it anyway.
Let's
Do
go.
we want to, do you guys have like a piece of paper you can write your answers down and flip,
Yeah,
or what do you want to do?
I'll do
Or we
that.
guys,
I'll rip off a sheet of paper.
whatever you, Phil, is that good for you?
Yeah, I got one.
Word. All right. Yeah, we'll run through a couple guys here. Got a couple Mets and Cubs to give you guys a little bit of a chance, and then some names you should know, but we'll see. I didn't know a couple of these. I really couldn't believe it when I did it, but
Yeah, I'm
okay, we're
not
gonna
that
start
excited.
off with kind of an easy one. You guys probably know this. It kind of depends what kind of era you grew up in, but Dansby Swanson. What you guys got? Tell me when you're ready. We'll flip those papers.
I'm writing it kind of small, but I'll point to it
That's
on
fine.
here
Yeah, as long
just
as
so
you
we
can
can
see
keep
it
them.
on the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I got it though.
Yeah,
Okay, you both ready?
I
Yeah.
got it too.
Yep. Let's flip.
Vandy.
Andy.
Correct,
Yep.
correct. The Vandy boy. I think most people know that, but I think maybe a lot most people our age. I think anyone younger though, that might catch them off guard. But
Pretty famous college player, to be fair.
Yeah.
yeah, no, big name. But this one might. I don't know. I didn't know this one. I wonder if you guys will. But Cal Riley.
Oh boy.
If neither of you have any clue, I can drop a hint. But
I mean, I'll put down. I have a guess. I'll put
okay,
down a guess.
You want to throw a conference out there?
ACC,
All
ACC.
right, that goes with my guess. That
Okay,
rolls
Oh,
with my guess.
okay.
okay.
All right. I got a
You
guess.
ready? All
All
right.
right.
Let's flip.
I play UVA.
I got
No,
Florida State.
Florida State is
Let's
correct.
go.
All
Very
right.
predominant catching school, obviously with Posey. So
Yeah.
I,
Posey. I was thinking Posey. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
he went
okay.
there
Yeah.
though. That kind of threw me for a loop when I found that one. Okay, we're gonna go. I think Nick will know this one. We'll see about Phil, but we got a Cub here. Nick Horner.
Nico Horner.
Nico Horner.
Yeah,
I
I
call him
got
Nick.
him.
I got Nick on the
You
brain.
got Nick on the
Nico
mind.
Horner. All right. Yeah. I think you already know this one. You're cheesing at me.
Yeah,
You know this one.
yeah.
Phil, you got it, or
I got nothing.
No, come on, Phil.
I got one.
No, I'm just kidding. Get something down there.
wish I knew where some of these guys were. I'm ready. I wish I knew
All
where
right.
some of these guys went, like
Yeah.
lived.
Let's flip. Yeah, I should be dropping hometowns. I don't remember. I don't know some of them.
Stanford. Stanford
Oh,
Stanford.
Cardinal. Good
What-
guess, Paul or Phil. You were in the right region.
Oregon? I mean, yeah, he's got the area right.
Right conference at the time would have been Pac-12.
Yeah. Let's give him a Met. Let's give him a Met. Let's
All right.
go with
this is not going to be helpful
let's
at
go
all.
with David Peterson.
David. Oh,
Think out west again. That's your hint. Think
yeah.
west.
I don't know this. But we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a guess, I guess, too.
I gotta guess,
You
yeah.
ready? All right. Let's flip.
USC.
USC.
Arizona.
No. Oregon.
Oh,
Oh.
Tricked
just had
me.
it.
I knew when he put it. I was like, oh, he's gonna not get it this time. Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know what. I think I thought that David Peterson just like spawned one day. You know, I didn't think he went to college or anything.
I think I thought originally that he was like from some small D1 school or something.
Yeah, let's think. Okay, this one I couldn't. I like. I think I maybe I knew it, and I don't know. I just want to test you guys on it. But Chase Headley,
Ooh.
Yikes. You got a conference or I'll take a hint on this one.
he's SEC. SEC.
SEC Chase Headley.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got to guess. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm
Let
just
me know when you're
throwing
ready.
I'm ready.
All right,
Random
flip them.
SEC school.
Flip
Yeah.
them.
Arkansas.
No.
Well,
Chase Headley was a Tennessee Volunteer, guys.
really?
Uh-oh.
Yes,
When
I
was
know.
that?
We have to
I know.
cancel the pod now.
Yeah, it's over.
This is
All
gonna
the
be. We
validity
might have
is
to
out
edit
the
this
window.
out. We might have to. Our bald
Dang.
will show it.
Would have been like what? 90,
Like oh
98?
04, oh
Oh four?
05. Like, yeah, before our time. But
Yeah.
like, no, I thought I knew like it's the Vol legends. Like I knew R.A. Dickey. I knew all
Yeah, me
Milton,
too. I was gonna
obviously.
say.
Yeah, I
Huh.
felt bad not knowing that one. Okay, let's go. We'll go two more. We'll do
Yeah.
one that I think you guys will know. Give me Trey Turner.
Oh boy, I feel like I should know this one.
I think I got it.
I think. Have you ever seen the clip of him in college where he gets thrown out at home and he freaks out? Think if you can think of that
Yes,
one.
that's why I should know it.
That clip is so funny. But ACC,
Oh, I okay, wait. I feel like I should get this right now.
you got it. All
Yeah,
right, let's
yeah.
flip.
NC
NC
State.
State.
Yup,
Yeah.
yup. There you go. I wasn't sure if you guys would know that one. I know that one. I wasn't sure if you guys would though. And we'll go one more. We'll go more really recent guy. We'll go Jacob Wilson.
Oh boy.
This is a tough one because he's a newer guy, like only drafted 2 years ago, but he's kind of a weird school.
It is kind of a weird school.
I don't know if his dad went there. I don't think he did, but I don't know. Like
We're
I don't
looking
even know
east or
what
west.
conference this is.
It's West.
West? Oh, you know it?
West.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh boy, okay.
It's a weird school, but like yeah, like I just know it because he's pretty recent.
Tennessee played a like very rare road game against them. I remember a couple years ago at this school, and it was like very rowdy.
Uh,
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna keep my guess because there's no point changing it. I'm
all
ready.
right, let's flip it.
New
Grand
Mexico.
Canyon.
Oh,
New
see, I
Mexico
was
State's
gonna
not very
pivot to that.
AC.
No, I was gonna pivot to that.
Supposedly, though, for whatever they had like a huge crowd there for that game, and I remember
Yeah.
Tony like talking about how it was just wild. He's
I
like,
didn't
"What a
even know
wild
they like had
environment."
a campus. I thought they were like an online only or something. I read
As soon as you started describing us playing them a couple years ago, I was like, oh, maybe it's Grand Canyon. I was like, ah, whatever.
no, no.
It wouldn't be.
All right, I think that's a good list right there.
Yeah,
Unless you want to try one more Met, Phil. You want an all or nothing on a Met?
All right, sure.
Tyler McGill.
Now let's just end the pod. Never mind.
I don't even know. I have no idea either. Where
Arizona. Arizona.
Arizona?
Okay.
All
Yeah,
these
I gave
former
you weird.
Pac-12
Yeah, I gave
schools.
him Nico Horner, and then I gave you David Peterson. So it was a little unfair, but
I know. I was hoping you would drop like a Pete Alonso or something. I'll be
There you
like,
go.
ooh,
Something
well, you
easy.
know that. And then the rest of you guys are like Dominicans. So like,
Yeah,
yeah.
true. Not a lot of other college guys. All right. Well, cool. Great game, Paul. Thanks for kind of hosting that for me and Phil. It was fun to compete. Hopefully, we can do stuff like that, kind of going further, whether it's like some sort of trivia or something. But I definitely
mhm.
enjoy that kind of thing. But thank you for listening to episode 3 of Pipeline Talk. Got a really fun episode. We're in the works for next week. Going to be doing back into the draft kind of side of things. Going to be doing a little mock draft. We each take ownership of a few different MLB teams and kind of run through the first round, seeing what teams might be picking what players. But really excited about that. Maybe a few special guests. I don't know. We were talking about that. Maybe, maybe not. But if you guys made it to the end, thanks for listening. Drop us a like, a follow, subscribe. We got a Twitter as well. Shout us out, tell your friends. Very excited to keep doing this. And thanks for listening to Pipeline Talk.